Sand. Man. Sandy. Sand. Sandman.
What'd I miss?
What was your relationship with Santa?
Yeah, we just work together. Making sure the world is okay, you know.
Has he ever done anything to you?
Hmm, not that I can remember. I mean, what? Never mind.
What is it, Sandy?
I mean, there was one night where he distracted me from bringing dreams to the sleeping. But it was just one night.
Sandman, wake up!
I'm sorry.
Did that ever make you want to hurt him?
What? No, never.
Okay then, where were you the night of Santa's death?
Well, I was doing my job. It was Christmas Eve. So I had to make sure that everyone was asleep. I didn't want anyone to see Santa in their house.
That's true. Nat and I were monitoring Sandy at the time.
So you saw what happened to Nick on your surveillance?
We did not.
What do you mean you didn't? How were you monitoring Sandman but not Santa Claus?
Santa was on another channel. That night we had surveillance on Krampus, Sandman, Santa, and Jack Frost.
While we were evaluating, we checked on Santa, and after we saw that he was on his last house, we switched surveillance to Sandman. And not too long after,
That's when Mims told me about Krampus and Santa.
Very well. Sandman. Sandman.
Sandy.
Hey, you're shouting!
What do you know about this boomerang?
Oh yeah, I remember that. After Thanksgiving, Tooth Fairy and Bunny asked to borrow it. So you gave one to Bunny and you gave one to Tooth Fairy.
Guess we have our next suspect. Move. I have to ask Tooth Fairy. Ned, where are you going now?
Tooth Fairy.
What about her?
Tooth Fairy.
Okay, Tooth Fairy. What's your
Oh
relationship
my
with
God, somebody help her. Can somebody
Don't
save
just
her?
stand there.
Does somebody
You
know
have to save her.
CPR or the Heimlich remover?
The killer has struck again.
Did she digest something?
Yeah, she had the sandwich and her drink.
Who gave it to her?
What? It wasn't me, I swear.
We were the only ones that had access to the food.
This is true, but I promise, it's not me. Okay, I'm being framed here.
By who?
I don't know.
Until we know for sure, you will be restrained.
What? Wait, no, wait.
I'm sorry, Bunny.
Easter Bunny, why would you do something like that?
Plum, you have to believe me. I would never ever hurt your sister. I mean, she was like a sister to me.
How do we know which one is poisoned?
Death. Could you tell us?
Drink.
But if what Bunny's saying is true, did anyone else go into the kitchen?
Hey, whose ring?
Fudge.
This is a clue.
How do we know who it belongs to?
We'll have to just play the game of Cinderella.
It's Feather Babes. It's not gonna stay.
No, the ring is too big.
Hey, look. It's too big. Well, it's not mine.
Nope, not mine.
Mrs. Claus, explain this.
Silly me. It must have slipped off my finger.
What were you doing in the kitchen?
I went to go get food.
Where's your plate?
Well, I lost my appetite when I got there, so I got eggnog instead.
Mrs. Claus, you're not telling me what I want to know.
I am telling you everything.
Then you wouldn't mind if I asked you a couple of questions.
Not at all.
We know you're obviously married to Nick, but did you guys ever fight?
Yes, I mean, we're married, so we get into arguments, but nothing we couldn't handle.
What happened between you and Boogie? Did it ever resurface before the other day?
No.
Then why did you have them meet each other?
It was something that happened years ago. Forgive and forget, as I would say.
Forgive and forget. Do you know you lied on Boogie's name? And because of that, the rivalry between Boogie and Nick was born?
What? So you're saying that I shouldn't have had them meet?
No, but you can't squash things like that and think it would be fine.
Okay, where are you going with this?
Well, did what happened between you three ever make him hostile to you or the elves?
Hostile? No. Him and I lived pretty happily until 7 months ago.
What happened?
We became very distant. I never saw him, he was always gone, and when I did see him, it was either at night or in the morning.
Did you think that's when the affair started?
I didn't start speculating about it until October, and the other day, that's when I found the undergarments. I didn't know what to do. After he brought baby New Year's home, he left again, so when baby was sleeping, I went to Mother Goose.
And told her about the affair?
Yes.
Did that information make you upset or resentful?
Oh, yes. I just found out that my husband was seeing someone else. What am I supposed to do? Be happy? You think I killed him, don't you? Well, newsflash, I didn't. I would never hurt my own husband.
But you would hurt the person he was seeing.
What? Wait, no. I did not hurt Tooth Fairy.
Explain, Boogie.
She found underwear, initialed SPF for Sugar Plum Fairy, of course. And it was covered in fairy dust.
And you're saying that my sister was secretly seeing Santa?
I am.
No, she wouldn't do something like that. That's not who she is.
Well, you tell us then. You and her talked to each other about everything. Did she ever tell you about the affair?
No, but she did tell me about a guy that she was talking to back in May.
And Mrs. Claus, how long has your relationship been distant? 7 months, right?
No, stop. My sister has been poisoned and you're accusing her of sleeping with Santa? What is wrong with you people?
Well then, how do you explain the undergarments?
No, she wouldn't.
What is it?
She asked me if she could have them and that she would buy me a new pair. I agreed, assuming that she wanted to impress the guy that she's been talking to.
Help me hold her back.
Mrs.
It's okay, Sugar Plum. You don't want to do this. You don't have to.
Well, folks, there you have it. Big old jolly Santa Claus was having an affair with Tooth Fairy. Does that put your mind at ease, missus? Wait a minute. You already knew.
Yes, I did. I just needed to be sure.
Mrs. Claus, how could you?
I already knew he was having an affair with her. Men aren't very good at covering their tracks. They're pretty sloppy if you ask me. I put the pieces together in July when he went to hang with the guys. I already knew that Sam wasn't having a cookout this year because he wanted to quarantine. So Nick already couldn't get his story straight. I forced myself to not believe in it, but it just kept running through my mind. So because of that, I went to our insurance company, installed a little travel tracker on the sleigh to keep track of everywhere that Nick went to save us money. But what I wanted was to track him. After 4 weeks, I saw constant trips to Tooth Fairy's cave. I kept the information to myself until I found those undergarments. That was my last straw. When Nat asked to have the meeting here, well, I saw this as the perfect opportunity to get my revenge on that home-wrecking whore.
So you killed both of them?
I killed Tooth Fairy. I wouldn't ever hurt my husband, physically at least. I wanted to get rid of my problem, which was Tooth Fairy, just so I could have my husband all to myself. I had no intentions of killing Nick. I got my revenge on him in a different way.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, Bunny.
You and Bunny were sleeping together?
Yes. If Nick was sleeping with someone, then I was going to. What do I look like waiting for him? But I got bored of Bunny. He's so vanilla.
So you tried to frame him for the death of Tooth Fairy?
Yeah, more or less. Then I would have had my husband without Tooth Fairy in the picture, and no one would have ever found out about me and the Easter Bunny.
What? How could you? You told me you loved me. That you wanted to be with me.
Please, I told you what you wanted to hear.
I did this for us. I did this so that we could be together.
You did what?
Bunny, what did you do?
Oh, no, he didn't.
Did you murder my husband?
Yes! Yes, I bloody did!
Bunny, why?
Because I hated him. Because I couldn't stand the bastard. He was so narcissistic and lazy. Always bragging about that his holiday is the best, when he does absolutely nothing but sit around. Unlike the ones who actually work to make our holiday successful. I don't have elves to make eggs for me. But yet the fat man gets all the glory, the fame, everything he wants. And I couldn't just take it anymore. And what really topped it off was how me and Mrs. Claus was always sneaking around behind his back. I eventually caught feelings for you, Mrs. Claus. I wanted you to be with you because I love you. I've hated the way he treated you and knew that I could do much more better. So I took out the competition, but all for absolutely nothing.
And when we was close to figuring out, you sabotaged everything?
Like my watch.
That's why you were fighting me for it? So I drop it and make it look like an accident?
What about him? Was that you too?
I didn't mean to. I was hoping that the boomerang would just knock him unconscious or something. I didn't think it would just gash his head in.
But using a boomerang on Santa was intentional, was it?
It all makes sense. Why didn't we think of this sooner? Who was a professional boomerang slinger in here?
You're right. That was so long ago that I completely forgot. That's why you asked to borrow mine?
And the other one?
Ruth gave it back last week.
Yeah, she did.
Easter Bunny,
Mother Nature, please. I'm sorry.
I am too. Easter Bunny and Mrs. Claus, for the crime of manslaughter and assault. Both of you are hereby stripped of your abilities as well as memories of the legendary council and figures. You will forever remain as mortal humans for the rest of your days on Earth. How do you plea? Very well. I am truly disappointed in both of you, and I wish there was another way. But the word is final.
Damn, that's tough.